can put me on airplane mode. You can put me on.
I don't know how to follow that up. Was I supposed to come in singing falsetto? I mean, because I don't have a good falsetto. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Sideline Junkies. Yes, we're doing another show. This is the Tuesday night flight. It's the big guy KG. It's the boss man B. I'm the Midnight Rider. In the words of the infamous, I guess he'd be infamous, Dak Prescott, the immortal Al Michaels. Here we go.
Nah, if you're gonna do Al Michaels, you gotta do it right. Here we go.
Gentlemen, how y'all feeling?
Good, man.
Real good.
10-4. Hey man, let's go ahead and push the lever all the way. Let's this plane off the ground and dive into our first topic. Big guy KG, what's the first topic?
So the first segment is called the liftoff.
It should be. It should be.
Lift off. The lift off.
And in the liftoff's opening spot, it's the NBA All-Star game.
Man,
all right, fellas.
Oh man.
Let's start with the big guy because let's go with Boss because I think the big guy, judging from Sunday, I think he's gonna have a lot to say.
Man, I don't even know where to start with it. It was a failure all the way around the board. That's just from the activities to just everything. The game they almost scored 400 points total. It's just, and I think the thing that gets you is that it's like those guys just don't care. By the comments of some of the players we'll get to later on, but if you've seen this show, you watch this show, I praise LeBron James for a lot of things. And unfortunately for LeBron James, some of this has to go on him. And I'm going to tell you why. You're going to be like, B, why are you putting this on LeBron James? Because an all-star game Kobe Bryant was in, Michael Jordan in, none of this would have happened. Let me tell you how powerful LeBron James is. All he had to do halftime was go to the locker room and say, all right, y'all, it's time to turn it up. We got to tighten this up. That's all it would have took was him to do that. And this is one of the things I don't like about LeBron is that hands-off approach. Like, oh, it's not my fault. This is your league. I know your time is winding down in it. But the whole debacle, this being under your era, I think for me, that affects his legacy. How bad that was when you're so powerful, all you got to do is say something because those guys respect you so much. We almost watched Dylan Brooks get blackballed out the league because of how he was going at LeBron James. Okay, so I'm not putting everything on him because it's been like everything else. It gets bad over time. You watch it get bad, and this isn't the first year it's been bad. This isn't the first year that the dunk contest has been bad. So Adam Silver has a lot on his plate and a lot to do, and I don't know how to improve it. This is one thing where I can't even suggest how to improve this game. Big guy?
Here's the thing. I watched that game. I fell asleep on it. And I'm trying to pull it up. How many three-pointers?
168.
168 three-pointers in that game.
Made. Attempted.
I think it was 66. How do you take 168 threes in a all-star game? Now, I remember, once again, this is not the league of the past. This is not our league. But I also remember a point in time where the all-star game, it was all about steals, fast breaks, dunks. That's what you wanted to see. And I didn't see much of that. I've seen Steph Curry dunk more than the all-star game than other people. Now, I got JoJo, she says, I like the Saturday event, Steph and Sabrina. I love that. And LED court was dope. Yeah, that in her opinion, that I agree with that. The Steph versus Sabrina was great. That was the best part. Everything else you could have kept. The game, 211 points. Whatever happened to 125? I mean, we was excited if we got 130, but you got 135 to 133. East victory, West victory, or the West would blow them the hell out. And it'd be like 135 to 101, something like that. But it was always competitive. The competition has gone out of the All-Star game. It's like nobody even plays for pride anymore. Nobody plays for bragging rights. And I played against some really, really good people. I played against people that, when we walked in the gym, we may not have been friends. When we left, we were friends. But we still competed hard against each other. This has to change. This product is terrible. No, I'm sorry. It's terrible. That's how the product is terrible. Midnight Rider.
I mean, I think it's along the lines of, I think you mentioned it. I think it was you on Sunday, or it might have been the conversation I had with somebody, but they were talking about maybe for the dunk contest, like you using like a YouTuber or something like that. Because I think you can't. I think at this point, I mean, what are you doing? We got Matt McClung, who's not really on the roster. You got Toppin's brother. I didn't even know it was the second Toppin. That's like knowing the name of the second Wonder Twin. It's like you never knew. You don't know his name. You didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Then we get I forgot the other two people because it didn't matter. But yeah, I think they should use it as a spotlight, and I think they should give out like $25,000, and they get these YouTuber dunkers out here, and just try to spice it up. Let them do what they do on their show, on their YouTubes. I mean, everybody doesn't always watch YouTube, so let's give it a shot. I think I said that on the other day with the Noscu, well, I should say Sabrina and stuff. Maybe next year you incorporate like Caitlyn and somebody else. Maybe you make it a tournament. I don't know the best way to do it, but that could be an option. The game itself, fellas, just so you know, in that ball game, there were three fouls called in the whole game. That tells you everything you need to know about the competitiveness, about the intensity, and the impact of this ball game. We had 3 fouls called. That's an abomination. That is terrible. That is downright it's a Travis Sham mockery. That's what it is. It's all of those things. And for these guys not to have that much pride in this game is offensive. Like they just think it's okay to go out and just, all right, you get a layup, you shoot a 3, I'm gonna be 5 feet away from you. Oh, you shoot that 3. Oh, okay. It's like, dog, like what KG said. I've had buddies that the second I hurt my shoulder one year, every time we played, they set hard screens on my shoulder because they knew I had problems pushing people off on that side of my body. And we playing pickup ball. But that's also our generation. Like I think part of the problem is in our developmental basketball leagues, we get these kids too comfortable with losing and it being okay. When you play 6 games on a weekend, you're not living and dying with all 6 games. So if you down 20 and you know you got to get ready probably for another game in a couple minutes, coaches probably shut it down and go on to the next game. So there's a level of competing that, God, I'm sounding like an old man, but there's a level of compete that doesn't exist right now, and that's part of the problem for me. And I think it's for you guys as well, because now we're on the back end of our careers or our years, and like, yo, what are you guys doing? What are we doing here?
You said it twice, so that's 2 drops in the bucket.
I got you.
That's 2 quarters. I think we're up to $1.50 in the last week, so we're up to $1.50. A quarter every time Midnight Rider says his catchphrase. Well, actually, here's the thing:
we'd be at 175 if we count JoJo, because JoJo said drop 1 too.
Make it 175.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you looking at the All-Star game for what it is, and it's not for us. I would rather see the pickup runs that Chris Brickley runs at his gym on All-Star weekend, because they got more excitement and competition than these All-Star games. So JoJo says, I've said it for years, though LeBron should have got it one time in the dunk contest. He promised us one, and I was looking forward to that. He backed out. But do I blame him for the dunk contest not being what it is? No, I'm not Stephen A. I don't agree with that. Also, they brought up a stat and said, oh, LeBron James lost the most All-Star games of anybody in the NBA. Why is that even a stat? Who the fuck cares? I guess I just took a fine for that. I just took a fine for that. Who the blip cares? Xavier says they're soft. JoJo says, I didn't watch the All-Star game. Saw the score and the 200 threes taken. So glad I didn't. It was not good. So,
oh shoot.
All right. Next up, JJ Redick's comments about Doc Rivers. Warranted. First and foremost, he said that, huh?
I was going to ask, do we have the comment?
Yeah, the comment was, this guy lacks accountability. He comes in the middle of the season and things are not going right, and he's not holding anybody accountable. He doesn't hold anybody accountable. And Pat Bev was like, well, Doc's the one that revived your career with the Clippers. How can you say that about a man that kept you in the league when nobody else wanted you? He was like, oh, well, I had a contract with another team for 4 years, and I just chose to stay with the Clippers. Austin Rivers comes in and says, well, you say that, but basically my dad saved your behind, and that's how you talk about it. So is it warranted is the question from you to you, gentlemen.
I think just the fact that Doc Rivers is coaching again, it bothers me a little bit, because it's like, I think Adrian Griffin was warranted, but I didn't think Doc should have been the guy getting the gig. I don't know who should have gotten it, but Doc has shown you over time that, like, there's the Clippers teams with Blake and everybody, Lob City never gets over the hump. He gets lucky that KG and Ray Allen fall in his lap, and he gets only one title out of that Celtics run, which should say something and should be a red flag. And then the Clippers, he does nothing with them. So, and maybe I said the Clippers twice, I apologize, but he's just Philly. That's what I meant. Thank you. It's just I don't know. I'm with Gil. Like, I don't know why they keep hiring him at this point. Go ahead, BJ.
Look, you know what bothers me? If we're friends and I see something wrong, I can't address you. If you got me that job or whatever, you helped me put the alternate on last weekend, it's like I can't speak the truth when you see something. And the Midnight Rider just laid it out. Why does Doc Rivers have this job? JJ Redick comments spot on. Because what he's trying to do now is take some heat off of him when his team fails. And it looks like this team is going to fail. And I think he knows that. You're not gonna turn away money. Somebody come in and offer you a couple $1 million to coach Giannis and Dame Lillard. In your head, you have a chance. You might be able to get them on track. You might be able to sneak another championship out, right? But the way it's looking, it's more issues with the Bucks than what we thought with just the Griffin firing. They got a little bit more issues. So now Doc is in there. It's always different, being there than versus looking outside. Now Doc in there like, man, this is heavy. How I'm gonna fix this? And he's already tap dancing. He got some pretty tap dance shoes on. Pretty, buffed up and everything. And it's just we're probably going to watch another collapse 3-1 failure. But I just JJ Redick spot on. I expect the comments from Austin Rivers. That's his pops. Pat Bev, look, they're entitled to their opinion, but I think that as the season go along, JJ Redick's comments are going to be more to the forefront because this team is going to it's the plane is in the air because we're on Tuesday night flight. I love making analogies. The plane is in the air, and one of the engines are sputtering, and they're in the cockpit trying to figure out if we can restart this engine to get it back going, what's going on. They're calling the air traffic controller. No, we might need to make an emergency landing. That's the Milwaukee Bucks right now. We might need to make emergency landing. I haven't tried to. I'm trying some things, but right now I'm already making that call. So if we need to make it, I'm held a hero in the news. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they did this and they got the plane down and saved everybody alive. This is what Doc Rivers is doing right now. So, big guy KG, you take it back. I don't know why he has this job. Why? I don't understand.
I didn't understand why he would even accept to coach the East All-Stars.
That tells you everything you need to know about Doc Rivers right there.
That's my thing. Sunday we talked about the Daytona 500. They ran it yesterday. William Byron wins it. Number 24 car in his Chevrolet. Alex Bowman came in second. Christopher Bell came in third. Corey LaJoie,
yep,
came in fourth, and Bubba Wallace, who was my pick to win it, came in fifth.
Who did I pick? You remember who I picked?
I want to say you picked Kyle Busch.
No, that was me.
I
was Busch and Hamlin. Busch and Hamlin.
I had to remember because I said something about Bubba Wallace because Bubba's becoming a super speedway expert or is. So it was good to see him in the top five. I'd like to see him crack it. So that's a all NASCAR segment.
Hey, question though. Go ahead. Read a comment.
JoJo said, I agree with JJ Redick and Austin Rivers' comments. In my opinion, Austin Rivers' comments, in my opinion, was ridiculous. What does him doing well with Doc have anything to do with him not taking accountability?
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know if we have it. I'm gonna try to post it, but we talked on Sunday about the big one, the big crash, and I think was it 8 laps left? Somewhere in there we had a big crash, and rechanged everything. I guess there was another accident because this final came under caution. Mm-hmm. So that's another interesting thing. But you did have the big crash that we were talking about and we were expecting in this race.
It's just a matter of time. When and where, and then who gets taken out. Yep. It just unfortunately it is what it is with the Daytona 5, the super speedways. Period. It just is what it is with those.
So what are? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You go.
No, you got it.
No, I was gonna say is what's called the speedways, because now I got to be the person that needs to be educated because I was just gambling on it. I didn't understand the speedway concept.
Hold on, you're going because I'm about to look up officially.
So while you doing that,
Daytona and Talladega are considered your super speedways, which you saw yesterday, bumper to bumper. Talladega, probably my favorite race.
Talladega is the one you don't want to be on the outside going in turn 4, because that's when you hit the wall.
I don't want to say that because it just depends. It depends on how the car's running, how your car might be running better outside than inside. The pack might be on the outside, and it just depends. Racing's one of those things where you can practice all week and your car's doing this, that, and the other, and you got it down packed, and you get on the race and that first 10 laps, you're like, this thing loose as hell. Right. I don't know what happened, or we don't have the power we had, or something's wrong with the car aerodynamically, just in the snap of a twig, just like that. So it just all depends on the race and what's the temperature. It's so much with racing other than just starting that car. Just you going from the weather, the aerodynamics of the car, who you beefing with that week, who you owe a lick, and it all comes down to play. And the lick isn't necessarily maybe just taking somebody out completely. Sometimes it's just a little love tap. You're like, hey, I still that's a tap because you're in front of me or whatever, you're beside me. I still owe you one. So
it's funny you say that, B, because when we play NASCAR Heat and I drive like that, B, he called me on the phone and was like, you drive too aggressive. Like, what? He's like, yeah, you drive too aggressive. You trying to bump everybody out the way instead of trying to pass them strategically. So that's your NASCAR expert right there. Because I started doing that and I've won like 3 or 4 races since then. So
I'm far from an expert, but I've been watching for 20 years.
It's been
Still
longer than that, brother.
It started around. I started playing the game around the late 90s, but not really start watching it, sit down watching it till early 2000s, around that time. So, I understand what I understand. I'm not I guess I would be more than a Jota fan on NASCAR, but I ain't no expert.
Segment.
Real quick, your Daytona winner, William Byron, he has a story. Midnight Rider, take it away.
So in NASCAR, most guys do a traditional way to becoming a driver. They drive dirt tracks. They drive a junior level, things of that nature. Well, our guy William Byron actually started on simulators, and got to the point his parents kept walking in, and they was trying to figure out what he was doing. So he told them or explained that he was driving on these simulators. And then the parents started taking more ownership. They were like, all right, well, if you're doing this well, because he was winning, we'll try to get you to this. So his parents have been helping him get to every step. It's one of the non-traditional ways of getting into the sport. I think it might be one other guy. I gotta look that up, and I'll have that next time we get on air. But it's a very non-traditional way for you to get into sports because he was never really in the car. He was always in a simulator. So he has a different feel altogether. And B, I think you even said that he's been around more. I'm sorry, he does better on the speedways or the super speedways than he does on anything else.
And JoJo says, yeah, he started on simulators. I was like, wow, yeah, that's beautiful right there. I guess that's going to be the new wave.
I mean, if you think about it, your parents like, hey, you got to get off that game. But now you start bringing in money because he was winning everything. They probably like, boy, if you don't get your butt on that game, but you have homework wise. All right, we'll do your homework. You get in that game and simulate.
The only thing you can't account for, I mean, because the iRacing simulator is spec, right? The only thing you can't account for is the heat in that car, right? The vibrations, the physical, the temperature outside, if it's cold or rain. You can't, you're in the simulator, but it's still nothing like those tires sliding a little bit on you going in the corner for real. You know what I'm saying? And the fumes, the smell, the no bathroom break. Once that car starts, you get going, hey, hopefully you got a Depends on that's solid. But it's just really impressive because I think it said 2012 he been in NASCAR. That's super impressive, man. That's 12 years, and he's become it's a group of people that when they do these super speedways at Daytona and Talladega, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson, him, LaJoy.
That's what it was.
Kyle Larson.
That was your pick.
Okay.
Him and then who won it last year? Was it Blaney?
Don't give me the line.
I know it was Larson.
I think it might have been Hamlin.
Okay.
I think Hamlin was one too. Okay, you were Hamlin too? Okay. We picked so many people.
Yeah, because Sunday show was a couple of days ago and I've already forgotten.
It's all good. I know it was Larson. I know Larson was one.
It's a couple of guys. When you go on the road courses, Jeff Gordon used to be the top of that. You know, one of the guys on the roll call, you got certain people that if you're a betting person, you know, you bet a little bit. But we're gonna have to start talking about some more NASCAR because that season kicked off, so it's definitely something to talk about.
Not in that 24 car. Ironic, you bring up Jeff Gordon, 24 car for him, 24 car for
William Byron. Yep,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. Next up, NCAA approves 12. How does that work out, Midnight Rider? Because you brought this one up. This is crazy, man.
So it's real simple. They basically the college football, the playoff committee, basically try to set some parameters. They were going to do this as the 6 conference champs and 6 at-large bids, but since the Pac-12 has pretty much disassembled itself from being a quality conference, they decided now it's only the 5 champions, and it's the 5 highest rated champions, and then 7 at-large bids for this tournament. So we're going to get to 12. So the first thing that you guys are going to hear is from number 13 and number 14, we should be in. So that's just really what they did today, is just making it so we can actually get an idea of what the format is. So hopefully Paul can be okay now if Florida State goes either undefeated or wins the ACC. They'll get in this time.
Hey, soon we're just gonna have a Division I tournament, and there's gonna be some schools at the bottom. Somebody's gonna get hurt, and they be like, "Did he tear Achilles? What happened?" Now he got cut by a broken beer bottle on the field. that's what we're gonna get to. Alabama gonna be playing Western Lafayette, Kansas City, of Greater Baptist St. Louis.
I think what's going to end up happening is the college football or the divisions are going to actually start thinking, all right, you know, the travel is going to be too much, and we're going to regionalize it. We're going to have a South. It's going to be South, East, and West, and each division gets 3 teams or something crazy like that, or at least they get guaranteed 1 or 2, and then it's going to change again. So,
but you can't change it because the guys that are coming from the Pac-12 or whatever that's coming over east, now you're cutting into their money.
So what they're gonna do is make it it's almost gonna be like a universal conference, like because TV contracts gonna come up soon, and when the TV contracts come up, I think that's gonna be the situation where I think they're gonna adjust. I think college football is gonna realize, oh, they're gonna do this. This might be the other thing. They detach college football from the other athletic programs, and college football has its own divisions and setup, and the other sports go back to a more regional thing because it's going to cost somebody money when USC has, what are they in, the Big Ten or whatever, and they go from USC or UCLA to Rutgers or to Maryland, and you're doing this with the tennis, the women's tennis, the soccer team. So something's gonna have to change in that process. So that's why I say you're gonna see something else. Like, don't get too comfortable with the way we're set up right now in college football.
And if that happens, you get ready for a whole bunch of lawsuits from a whole bunch of sour conferences that, you know, that are gonna lose a lot of money. That's gonna be something to see. We'll see what happens because this ain't working out. It's starting to get out of hand a whole bunch.
Well, I mean, you saw the article where Mike Locksley had a 3rd-string running back coming off and saying he won $100,000.
Yes. Like,
so
what?
We're already, times are changing.
It's funny you say that about the conferences, the North, South, East, and West. If you remember back, what was that, Bill Walsh football? That's how you picked which college football team you wanted. You had to pick the region that they were in. And maybe we knew about this 30-some-odd years ago, and we just didn't understand it. But last but not least, really, really quick, Nats not being sold. Bummer.
Is it?
Yes, and
it is.
Yes, because Learns have been cheap. I get that. But maybe this is them. Maybe this is the facade. maybe they're just doing this now because they want to take a step back and see what comes from this Orioles transaction that's happening right now. Because maybe they get some things back. Maybe it's easier for them to get the money that's been owed to them from the last 7-8 years from the Masson deal that they've gone to court for. Maybe that money actually gets sent to them instead of them still having to wait on that because it's tied up in litigation. Maybe we get some form of resolution to the whole Masson situation.
Yeah.
Maybe Lubenstein or whatever the guy's name that bought the O's, maybe he's like, hey, look, we owe you $450. And I'm just making up numbers. I owe you $450 million. Let me just give you TV rights back and you can do whatever. And we call it even.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We got businessmen now, not people that just want to be in a litigious situation. So that's got to be something you think about. So that's why I'm half and half on it, because I think the learners may wait and then bring it back out. Like, you know how people take a house off the market, put it back in the market when it's more attractive because now they make some renovations.
There you go.
That's how I see it.
Because if you get all that stuff back, now you can get way more money.
Exactly.
Sell his team. So it's don't forget, these guys are businessmen, and they're businessmen for a reason. They're successful for a reason, and some other reasons too. But this is one of them power play moves where this is strategic, and I'm not mad at them. Like I said, if you get everything the Midnight Rider said, if you get all that stuff back, now when you bring it back to the market, hey, look, I got granite heated floors,
right?
Bidets at 70 degrees for everybody. The house come with 2 maids. What's up? Talk to me.
Or keep it in the baseball terms. We got a TV contract we're about to make. We haven't made it yet. Now you get to shape the way this team is viewed on TV for the next 5-10 years. You get this, you get that. So now the old sell for 1.7. You got everything that's been paid for and done. Maybe you get 2.3, maybe you get 2.5.
All right.
That's just how I see it.
JoJo said shaking my head, but they won the lawsuit. Arnett.
They did, but you got to also remember, just because they won the lawsuit, like the Angelos family is known for tying up money in litigation and making you have to go through hell and high water before they pay you.
Yep.
Gotcha. And she says, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
You're gonna get there. I mean, like it's off in the distance. Like if it was Jerome, it's like, you know you what I'm saying? Everybody knows Jerome say yeah. But nah, I mean, and that's maybe where we at right now. But I mean, we'll get there. Something's gonna happen. I think we just gotta be ready as fans to just expect anything, because landscape can change. And then, I mean, if they hold on through the season and these kids make a jump, who knows?
Yep.
Come to that point of the show. It looks a little different, but it's still wrapped that up, D. Final thoughts before we get out of here.
Well, we used the Nats thing. What else do we have?
The
I'm
NBA.
curious because I'm starting to see some of these mocks come out. So I'm gonna be curious as to how this plays out and what Sports Talk Radio is going to talk about in DC. Because there's a lot of talk about the number 2 pick. And it's like every show is doing something on the number 2 pick. And I think I'm going to get number 2 pick fatigue. Like I got change the name fatigue or Commanders fatigue. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the sports landscape.
I think the NBA, we talked about it earlier, they just got a big problem on their hands when we didn't even get to the Anthony Edwards comment where he's talking about everybody comes here for a break, basically. Nobody's coming here to, play hard. I think that's a really big problem because we spoke on this show about Anthony Edwards. I love his game. You know what I mean? Game is awesome. Probably my favorite player right now is Anthony Edwards. So to hear him say that is kind of deflating. And this is one of those things where, like we talked about, the NFL Pro Bowl, it's just like what do you do to fix this? So we'll see. There's going to be a lot to talk about. We'll see what they implement for next year.
I don't think there's. I think the NBA All-Star game used to be the tops of all All-Star games. Now it has gone down to second, possibly third, to the MLB. So something has to be changed. You want to do that tonight?
No. Oh, we got Thursday. We need content for Thursday.
Okay.
Cool.
I gotta. Matter of fact, speaking of video games, I gotta do an unboxing tomorrow. Hopefully, I got some new games coming. Well, not.
Where'd you get your games from?
Shameless
say
plug.
No, don't you say their name on air. We don't do. Look, we don't do
Don't do free advertising.
It's like,
All right, cool. Just hit me in the what in the chat. You know how it goes.
Got you.
Is this PS3 or PS4 material?
This is actually PS1 and PS2.
You're such a fossil.
No, I'm putting my collection together, so I get pieces of my collection. But I had to get Gran Turismo 2 because, you know, it's nothing better than fixing your car listening to Super Bomb Bomb by Soul Coffee.
He even gave you the benefit of it. He said 3 or 4. And he just looked the disappointment when he said 1 and 2, the disappointment on the Midnight Rider.
Yo, you are a video game paleontologist.
Something like that, but I like to go back and I like to go back. It takes me back to a wonderful time. It takes me back to a peaceful time. So it's all about peace. So, you know, I'll hook up the Super Nintendo and I'll pop in Live 96, Live 97. I'll turn on the PlayStation 3 and throw in NBA Live 99 and I'll tell the kids, hey, who wants some? You know, I'm gonna take everybody out. So
your wife is a saint and a jewel of this earth.
You hear that, Lovey? He said you're a saint and a jewel of this earth.
Oh, thank you.
That PS3 probably sound like a jet engine.
No, it's good.
It's for you for all that. Like the score space for all that, because you ain't throwing nothing away.
Yeah, I mean,
got like 3 full crates. You got cards.
No. I got a crate with all the games in it that sits at the bottom of the TV show. My PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 on the top, and then the PlayStation 5 is gonna go on the left of that. And they're all hooked up to the TV, so anytime I want to play, I can just turn them on.
You know when you go in grandma's house and she got the heat on 97 and the furnace on its last leg whistling?
Nah, B, it's more like this. It's, you know how they have those floor model TVs? KG got the floor model TVs of the video game system.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. The one with the cabinet doors on it?
Yeah.
Wait. I'm trying to find this. I had this floor model TV that I used to play my Nintendo on. I'm trying to find the exact model. I had it nailed down, but it didn't work. It needed a tube, and I couldn't find the tube, so I couldn't get it.
When you find it, do not call me to move it. Please, God.
Hey, look, I gotta get up on the second floor now.
No, no, sir. And I'm not gonna. You can't use my nephews either. No, you gotta pay professional movers with a crane to put that thing in there, and then you might bow the floor. Who knows? That thing you talking about
heavy.
Oh,
you might have to take the doors, the sliding glass doors off the second floor, so you can just get it in there.
Oh my!
That's fine, but I'm gonna have my floor model TV though.
Soon as the weight hit the floor, all you can hear is.
We're sorry for people in 1B.
Oh man!
See, y'all hating, man. Y'all hating because I still don't hate on me because I still got the originals, baby. When I say I got the originals, I still got the original. This is the one I got back in like '94. This is the original one. I still got my original PlayStation. So, well, my PlayStation 2, my PlayStation 1, somebody decided to sit their ass on it and broke my damn PlayStation.
Oh, he was a youngin'.
Yeah, he was. I give him that.
You can't put that in his docket.
I'll give him that. But
It ain't gonna stick, Judge. Throw it at me. It ain't gonna stick, baby.
but
All right,
retro games, baby. Let's go.
Hey,
Uh,
before we get out of here, check out. I'll be on TikTok tomorrow. Got some ideas for some stuff talking in this show, but check me out on TikTok, and I invite the guys to join me. See if they ain't too camera shy.
bet it.
we do this all the time. I'm not camera shy. I just probably won't be available because of work.
So, for the Midnight Rider, the boss BJ, I'm the big guy KG. We don't do no overtime, y'all. We are out of here.